We always need something. We want to buy something. We want to find a solution to our problem. We want to improve ourselves. We want to learn something. We want to start earning more. We want to forget unpleasant experiences. We want to be happy and get rid of pain. Sometimes it seems that we are haunted by the same thought. It's strange, but sometimes we just can't get rid of it, and you need to get rid of it. So watch this video. I'll tell you 3 ways to get rid of any thought. Before we get rid of thoughts, let's try to understand what they are. We can think and reflect, but have you tried to observe thoughts? Explore them. Explore the space where these thoughts appear. Let us do the following exercise. Just try to observe and record the fact that one thought replaces another, while trying not to get involved in them. After numerous observations of thoughts and research related to them, I came to the following conclusions. At this point in time, not a single thought has been caught in the jar by scientists, has not been dissected, and studied with the ability to identify what it is about. In spite of this, we all know that a thought exists. Thought is everything that appears in the mind: fears, blocks, habits, addictions, ideas, beliefs, concepts, expectations, limitations, fantasies, dreams, past, future, and so on. Humans don't have the tools to create thoughts. We can only receive them if we are ready for them. Our mind is like a stage where thoughts come and go, and some remain to perform further. The more attention we give to thoughts, the stronger they become, and the faster they manifest themselves in reality or have an impact. Now, in most cases, humans' attention is automatically directed to thoughts. This is the biggest reason why people suffer, get sick, are in hell during their lifetime, not the thoughts themselves. The problem is automatism, not the thoughts. The nature of thoughts is chaotic. If you tried to do the exercise given at the very beginning, you might have noticed that many thoughts are not related to the previous ones. They appear as if by accident. Thought is a useful tool. With the help of thoughts, we can create, communicate, understand, learn new things, and just live. It is an integral part of our lives, but thoughts don't belong to us. They are from the outside. All people have the same access to all thoughts, but what we get depends on our willingness to understand them, our limitations, filters, and beliefs. Thoughts can be controlled through attention. You can set parameters for thoughts, which ones to use and which ones not to use, through commands to the mind. There are no bad or good thoughts. There are useful ones at a given time and place, and now. After we've looked at what thoughts are, let's look at 7 ways to get rid of thoughts. Method 1. Don't make thoughts relevant. We need to understand what a thought is. Humans don't have a tool for creating thoughts. All thoughts you have in your mind are not yours. We need to understand that any fear, any thought, any desire, any trouble, any addiction, any habit, attachment to someone is also a thought. Fear is a thought. Fear of the future is a thought. Fear of the past is a thought. Some kind of anxieties, any what if. These are also thoughts. Everything that makes us unhappy is thoughts, but not the fact of having them, but our attention automatically being in the thoughts. This is exactly the reason why we will train our attention, the skill itself. You need to understand that this is just a thought. It's a thought. I'm not going to make it relevant. It's just a thought. Stop making relevant thoughts you have. Even if some brilliant idea has come up, don't attach importance to it. Don't get involved in it. It is important to understand that this is just a thought. Thought is a useful tool. Nothing more than a fork or a spoon. Different tools are useful only in certain situations. It would be awkward, even impossible to sew with a spoon. For example, Method 2, close attention to a thought. This method is quite closely related to the first one, but it works somewhat differently. You need to direct your close attention to the thought. I see you, I see you. You are a thought. This kind of close attention, try not to get involved in the thought. Understand that what you already have in your mind, what you are thinking about, is a thought. Realize, oh, it's a thought, and I can see you. And then the thought will stop influencing you. It will disappear. It will not be able to withstand such attention. A thought begins to work when you get involved in it, when you unfold it, when one thing appears, then another, when twigs grow out of the thought. That's how it works. But when you give such close attention, I see you. You are a thought. When you recognize a thought and begin to understand exactly what it is, then you automatically stop getting involved in it. This is the second way, and it can be trained in exercises. By the way, by directing close attention to the thought, you can distinguish a thought from intuition. A thought will disappear, but intuition will remain. Method 3. Switching attention. This method is about switching attention from a thought to the body, from a thought to the feeling, from a thought to the present moment, from one thought to another. It doesn't matter where. When any thought appears, fear, grudge, block, addiction, some expectations, or perhaps jealousy, you just need to switch your attention. What do I feel when I have such a thought? You can switch your attention to the body, to some part of it. It can be an arm or another arm, legs, torso, or the whole body. You can switch your attention to feelings. What do I hear when I have such a thought? This also applies to emotions. It is necessary to understand what emotion is. Emotion is a consequence of thought. Something happens or a thought appears regardless of the events, and we evaluate this thought as good or bad. This evaluation of thoughts causes a biochemical reaction in us. We mark it as positive or negative, and then our mind gives a signal to the brain. The brain gives a positive or negative signal to the body, and we begin to experience our emotions. But initially, it's a thought. And even at this time, we can just switch our attention. How do I listen during depression? How do I feel the sounds when I have apathy? What happens to the smells when I get angry? And so on. This applies to all emotions, both good and bad. It applies to any thoughts. This method is trained by special exercises that are available in the application. But you can switch your own attention from mind to body, from thought to body by yourself. We will strengthen this skill with different exercises, with different objects for switching attention, so that it becomes natural and easy to do, without tension. These are 3 simple methods that allow you to switch instantly. Bang! As if on a click, and you switched over. You had thoughts, problems, and then you just switched. The following 2 methods will develop our ability not to get involved in thoughts all the time, so that thoughts don't affect our lives all the time. Method 4. Choose thoughts. At this point, I want to say that there are no good or bad thoughts, only useful ones at a given time and place. Every thought has its time and place. Every thought has its purpose. And if you think it's useless, it doesn't mean it's bad. It's just not useful at the moment. Maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow it will be useful. It's important to understand that thoughts are neutral. We give them meaning, and here is the catch. You can choose which thoughts to give meaning to and which ones to ignore. You can choose which thoughts to bring into reality and which ones to ignore. You can choose which thoughts to give your attention to and which ones to ignore. You can choose which thoughts to focus on and which ones to ignore. You can choose which thoughts to manifest and which ones to ignore. It's not about blocking thoughts, it's about choosing which thoughts to manifest. And now it's clear that you can choose thoughts. You can't choose not to have thoughts. You can choose which thoughts to have, so choose your thoughts. Method 5. Manifestation V's. Choice. This is the most advanced method that allows you to achieve results almost instantly. Manifestation V's. Choice. Manifestation is a result. A choice is an action. You can't manifest without choice, but you can choose without manifesting. Manifesting thoughts is not just putting them into reality. It's putting them into reality in the present moment. You manifest thoughts when you get involved in them, when you accept them, when you give them meaning. You manifest thoughts when you agree with them, believe in them, breathe them in, and most importantly, feel them. It is not enough to notice a thought. It is not enough to realize that this is a thought. It is not enough to realize that this is just a projection of the mind. It is not enough to have any understanding about the thought. It is important to understand that the manifestation of a thought begins when we agree with the thought. So we must learn to choose our thoughts. Learn to understand that every thought is neutral. It is not true. It is a convention, a belief, and it is a picture. It is a construct. It is a model. It is a construction of the mind. It is not real. It is a thought.